I went to an oncologist. They said, and they operated almost immediately with stage 4 melanoma. Melanie had stage 4 breast.
Most people remember the rumor before they remember the truth. In the spring of 2026, social media exploded with claims that William Shatner was secretly dying from brain cancer. The story spread so quickly that even members of his own family became worried. To stop the panic, Shatner posted a recent photo of himself and reassured everyone that he was healthy, calling the rumor completely false. The brain cancer story was indeed a hoax. But what few people knew at the time was that Shatner had already been through a very real and deeply personal health battle that he had chosen to keep private. It wasn't brain cancer, but it was a frightening diagnosis that had tested him in ways fans never imagined. For years, William Shatner had been known for his energy, humor, and determination. Even well into his 90s, he continued working, attending public events, and surprising audiences with his enthusiasm for life. That made the online rumors seem unbelievable to many fans. Yet behind the scenes, there was a story far more emotional than anything circulating on the internet. Several years earlier, doctors discovered that Shatner had melanoma, a serious form of skin cancer. What first appeared to be a small lump on his face was eventually identified as something much more dangerous. After medical treatment and careful monitoring, he recovered, but he chose not to make the experience public until much later. His decision to stay silent wasn't about hiding from fans. Like many people facing difficult medical challenges, he preferred to deal with it privately while focusing on recovery rather than headlines. When he finally spoke about the experience, many were surprised to learn just how close he had come to a life-changing diagnosis. Even more remarkable was how the warning sign was noticed. According to Shatner, the person who urged him to have the suspicious growth examined wasn't a stranger or a doctor who happened to spot it during a routine visit. It was someone much closer to him, his daughter, Melanie. At the very same time, Melanie was fighting her own battle against cancer. While undergoing difficult treatments, she noticed changes in the lump on her father's face and encouraged him to have it checked. That simple observation may have changed the course of his life. The story became far more than a tale about one famous actor surviving cancer. It became a powerful reminder of how families often support one another through the hardest moments, even while facing struggles of their own. For William Shatner, surviving cancer was only one chapter in a life already marked by heartbreaking loss. He had experienced the tragic death of his wife, endured painful personal setbacks, and later reflected on the unresolved distance that developed between himself and his longtime friend and Star Trek co-star Leonard Nimoy. Despite those hardships, Shatner has continued to look toward the future rather than dwell on the past. He has often said that his greatest motivation is the people he loves, his family, and even his beloved dogs, who give him a reason to keep moving forward every day, today, instead of allowing difficult experiences to define him. Shatner and his daughter have chosen to share their journey with others. By speaking openly about cancer, resilience, and hope, they aim to encourage people to pay attention to their health and never ignore warning signs that could save a life. Their story ain't really about rumors or celebrity headlines. It's about family, perseverance, and the importance of listening when someone who cares about you notices something you might have overlooked yourself. The experience also changed the way William Shatner looked at time. After decades of living in front of cameras, he admitted that growing older had given him a different perspective. Instead of worrying about the number of years behind him, he focused on making the most of the days still ahead. He often spoke about appreciating simple moments with family, close friends, and the animals he cares for, saying those everyday experiences had become more valuable than awards or public recognition. Melanie's own recovery was just as inspiring. Her treatment required months of chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, and countless medical appointments. There were moments when the future seemed uncertain, but she continued fighting with remarkable determination. Throughout that difficult period, she and her father became an even stronger support system for one another. While she encouraged him to seek treatment for his melanoma, He constantly reminded her not to lose hope during her own battle. Looking back, Shatner has described his daughter's actions as nothing short of life-saving. Had she ignored the unusual spot on his face, or accepted his explanation that it was nothing serious, the outcome could have been very different. Her persistence serves as a reminder that early detection can make an enormous difference when dealing with skin cancer and many other diseases. The public only learned about much of this after Shatner decided to speak openly about his experience. For years, fans assumed he had simply continued working without major health problems. Few realized he had quietly undergone extensive treatment while maintaining his public appearances and professional commitments. His decision to reveal the story later wasn't meant to attract sympathy, but to encourage others to pay attention to changes in their own bodies and seek medical advice without delay. Beyond his health struggles, Shatner has also reflected on some of the emotional losses that shaped his later years. The death of his wife, Naraini Kid, in 1999 remained one of the most painful events of his life. Although their marriage had been facing difficulties, the sudden tragedy left a lasting emotional impact that he has spoken about in interviews over the years. It was a reminder that grief often arrives without warning and leaves questions that may never be fully answered. Another chapter that continued to weigh on him involved his friendship with Leonard Nimoy. For decades, audiences saw Captain Kirk and Spock as inseparable, and the two actors shared a bond that extended far beyond the television screen. Yet, during the final years of Nimoy's life, communication between them became increasingly limited. Shatner has acknowledged that he never completely understood why the distance developed, making Nimoy's passing especially difficult because there was never an opportunity for the heartfelt conversation he wished they could have shared, rather than allowing those regrets to define his later years. Shatner has tried to transform difficult experiences into something meaningful. Together with Melanie, he has expressed interest in raising awareness about cancer, recovery, and the importance of regular medical checkups. Their message is simple but powerful. Paying attention to small warning signs and supporting loved ones can sometimes save a life. At an age when many people choose a quiet retirement, William Shatner continues to stay active, appear at public events, and connect with fans around the world. His resilience is not based on pretending life has been easy. Instead, it comes from accepting that hardship is part of life while choosing to keep moving forward despite it. In the end, the internet rumor that claimed William Shatner was dying turned out to be completely false. The real story was never about a fabricated diagnosis. It was about a man who quietly survived a serious illness, a daughter who recognized the danger before anyone else, and a family that faced life-threatening cancer battles at nearly the same time. Their journey reminds us that strength often comes not from facing challenges alone, but from the people who stand beside us when we need them most. As Shatner has continued speaking about his experience, one theme appears again and again: gratitude. He has said that surviving serious health challenges made him appreciate ordinary moments far more than extraordinary ones. Whether spending time with his children, enjoying a quiet afternoon at home, or simply taking a walk with his dogs, he has suggested that these simple experiences now carry a deeper meaning than they once did. After a lifetime of fame and achievement, it is the everyday moments that matter most. His story has also encouraged many fans to learn more about skin cancer. Melanoma is one of the most serious forms of skin cancer, but doctors consistently emphasize that it is often highly treatable when detected early. A small spot, mole, or lump that changes in size, shape, or color should never be ignored. Shatner's experience demonstrates how something that appears harmless can sometimes require immediate medical attention. For Melanie, the journey was equally transformative. Recovering from cancer meant rebuilding both her physical strength and her confidence. The treatments had taken a tremendous toll, yet she continued moving forward one step at a time. Her willingness to share her story has inspired many people facing similar diagnoses, proving that hope can remain even during the most difficult chapters of life. Father and daughter now share a unique bond forged through experiences few families ever expect to face. Both confronted life-threatening illnesses, both endured months of uncertainty, and both emerged with a renewed appreciation for every day they have together. Their relationship became stronger because of those challenges, reminding others that support from loved ones can make an enormous difference during recovery. For fans who have followed William Shatner since the original Star Trek series, his resilience comes as little surprise. Throughout his career, he built a reputation for embracing new opportunities, staying curious, and refusing to let age define what he could accomplish. As the years have passed, William Shatner has become increasingly reflective about what truly defines a successful life. For much of his career, success was measured by television ratings, movie premieres, and packed convention halls filled with devoted fans. Those accomplishments remain an important part of his legacy, but after everything he has experienced, he has suggested that real success is measured differently. It's found in relationships that endure, in family members who stand beside you during difficult times, and in having another chance to enjoy life's simplest moments. He has also acknowledged that surviving a serious illness changes the way a person thinks about the future. Plans that once stretched years ahead become focused on the present, rather than chasing endless achievements. Shatner has spoken about making each day meaningful. Whether recording interviews, writing books, meeting supporters, or spending quiet evenings at home, he approaches life with an appreciation that comes from understanding how quickly circumstances can change. For many longtime fans, that attitude has made him even more admired than the fearless Captain Kirk they watched for decades. On screen, Kirk confronted impossible dangers with confidence and determination. Off-screen, Shatner faced challenges that no script could prepare him for: personal loss, health scares, and the emotional weight of watching loved ones battle life-threatening illnesses. Those experiences revealed a different kind of courage, one grounded not in adventure, but in resilience. His family has remained central throughout that journey. The support shared between William and Melanie illustrates how strength often moves in both directions. Parents spend much of their lives protecting their children, yet there are moments when those roles unexpectedly reverse. In noticing the suspicious spot on her father's face and encouraging him to seek medical attention, Melanie became the person protecting him. It's a powerful reminder that caring for one another has no age limit. Shatner has often encouraged people not to ignore unusual changes in their health. A small mark, persistent lump, or unexplained symptom may seem insignificant at first, but seeking professional medical advice early can make an important difference. His experience highlights why regular checkups and paying attention to warning signs remain essential, regardless of a person's age. Despite entering his mid-90s, Shatner has continued to pursue new creative opportunities. He has remained active with public appearances, interviews, writing projects, and conversations about subjects ranging from science and space exploration to personal growth and healthy aging. His curiosity has never disappeared, and that eagerness to keep learning has become one of the defining characteristics of his later years. Those close to him have often described his sense of humor as another source of strength. Even when discussing serious topics, he frequently finds a way to laugh, reminding people that optimism doesn't require pretending life is perfect. Instead, it means choosing not to let hardship erase moments of joy. That outlook has helped him connect with audiences for generations. When people look back on William Shatner's remarkable life, they'll undoubtedly remember the iconic television roles, best-selling books, and unforgettable performances. But many may also remember the quieter story that emerged later in life: a father and daughter facing cancer together, encouraging one another through fear and uncertainty, and ultimately choosing to use their experiences to inspire others. Perhaps that's the most meaningful chapter of all, not because it contains dramatic headlines or shocking rumors, but because it reflects something deeply human. It reminds us that behind every famous face is a family, behind every public appearance is a private life, and behind every survivor is often someone who refused to stop believing in them. In the end, William Shatner's story isn't simply about surviving illness or overcoming tragedy. It's about gratitude, perseverance, and the extraordinary impact that love and family can have during life's most difficult moments. Long after internet rumors are forgotten, those lessons are likely to remain the part of his legacy that resonates most with people around the world. William Shatner's life has never been defined by just one moment. Across more than 7 decades in the public eye, he has experienced extraordinary success, heartbreaking loss, unexpected setbacks, and remarkable resilience. Behind the iconic roles and worldwide fame is a man who, like everyone else, has faced uncertainty, grief, and the fear that comes with growing older. The rumors that spread across the internet in 2026 turned out to be false, but they also reminded millions of people how quickly misinformation can travel. In just a few days, countless fans believed the worst without knowing the real story. The truth was far more personal. Shatner had already fought a serious health battle in private, supported by the people who loved him most. Perhaps the greatest lesson from his journey isn't about celebrity at all. It's about paying attention. A small change that seems harmless can sometimes be something far more serious. Listening to loved ones, keeping regular medical appointments, and seeking professional advice when something doesn't feel right can make an enormous difference. Those simple decisions have saved countless lives. For William and Melanie, surviving cancer became more than a personal victory. It became an opportunity to encourage others not to lose hope. Their experiences remind us that even difficult diagnoses don't always define the future. Advances in medicine, early detection, and strong support systems continue to help many people overcome challenges that once seemed impossible. At 95 years old, William Shatner continues to look ahead rather than behind. He still enjoys connecting with fans, sharing stories from his incredible career, and spending time with his family. Instead of focusing on fear, he has chosen gratitude. Instead of dwelling on loss, he celebrates the people still beside him. And instead of allowing hardship to silence him, he continues to inspire others with honesty and optimism. No one can predict what tomorrow will bring. That's true for movie stars and for everyone else. But Shatner's story reminds us that life isn't measured only by how many years we have. It's measured by how we spend them, who we share them with, and how we respond when life tests our strength. After everything he's endured, perhaps the most remarkable thing about William Shatner isn't that he became a television legend. It's that he never stopped finding reasons to keep moving forward. If there's one message to take away from his journey, it's this: treasure the people you love, don't ignore your health, and never take another day for granted. Sometimes the smallest decision, a conversation, a medical checkup, or a loved one saying, "You should get that looked at," can change an entire life. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story and would like to hear more inspiring journeys from Hollywood's biggest legends, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. We'd also love to hear from you in the comments. What is your favorite William Shatner memory or performance, and what part of his incredible journey inspired you the most? Until next time, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and we'll see you in the next story.